Elizabeth Bathory, the Countess of Blood. She has been an inspiration to many films depicting vampire stories, drinking blood of virgins and the innocents, bathing with their blood, and even torturing her victims. Elizabeth Bathory was tagged as one of the most dangerous serial killers of all time, and was also named as the Blood Countess due to her criminal ways. She was even labeled by the Guinness Book of World Record as one of the most prolific female murderer. Born on August 7, 1560, Bathory was from a prominent Protestant family in Hungary. As a child, Bathory suffered multiple seizures that may have been caused by epilepsy. Even as a young child, she has been a witness to her family's brutality. Her aunts and uncles taught her about Satanism and witchcraft. They say these were the reasons why she became what she is. Bathory was only 10 years old when she was engaged with 15-year-old Ferenc Nadasdy. It was for political reasons that their families agreed of the engagement. At the age of 13, Bathory allegedly gave birth to a daughter and was soon given away to a local woman and was taken to a faraway village. When Nadasdy learned of the affair, he castrated the peasant boy and was thrown and fed to a pack of dogs. Bathory was married to Nadasdy at the age of 15 and they have 5 children. Bathory did not take her husband's name due to her social standing. It was Nadasdy who took her name instead. His wedding gift for his wife was his household castle of Segeste. Bathory did not take her husband's name due to her social standing. It was Nadasdy who took her name instead. His wedding gift for his wife was his household castle of Segeste. This was bought by his mother in 1569 and given to Nadasdy, who at his wedding gave it to Bathory as his wedding present. Nadasdy, being so ambitious, was always away and later on became the chief commander of the Hungarian troops. Bathory was left to manage the castle's business affairs and the state itself. Nadasdy, being away all the time, showered Bathory with precious gifts. They also shared the love for violence, as Nadasdy was also known for his cruelty and brutality. Together they inflict great agony to their victims. According to witnesses, Bathory's first victim was a servant girl. One night, this servant was combing her hair when she accidentally pulled Bathory's hair harder than usual. She slapped the girl so hard that blood fell to her face and arms. Later, she realized that a part of her hand and face where the girl's blood fell became youthful. That is when she believed that the blood of virgins and the innocents can preserve her youth and beauty. It was said that Bathory has many accomplices in her crimes. Her servants brought her virgins and helped her. They even brought the victims to her room when she is not capable to stand, when she is sick. Witnesses describe her sadistic crimes included severe beatings. She used different tools to beat them to death. She was said to bite the flesh off the faces, arms, and other body parts. She eats the flesh of her victims, but she even asks her victims to eat each other's flesh. Bathory and her accomplices also left their victims to freeze in the cold winter nights and starve them to death. There are also testimonies that she will cut off the men's penis and burn the woman's vagina. She is also fond of sewing the mouths of her victims that will cause them to die with starvation. She even used pins to insert in the nails and cut them off one by one. There are also stories of her vampiric tendencies to bathe with her victims' blood. Her servants will collect the blood through hanging their victims upside down and letting their blood drip in a tub for Bathory to bathe. Fresh virgin's blood is also a fantasy for Bathory. She drinks the hot, fresh blood of her victims. All these sadistic crimes make her feel more beautiful and youthful. It was in 1610 when King Matthias II assigned Thurso, the Palatine of Hungary, to investigate. In 1611, the two notaries that Thurso ordered had gathered 300 testimonies from witnesses, but some also claimed that Bathory helped to heal her people through unconventional ways. She used equipments and methods that was not in the norms, but other people claim she used them to her victims and not to heal someone who is ill. Thurso arrested Bathory along with her 4 servants. 3 among the servants were put to death, and 1 was sentenced to life imprisonment. Bathory was not put to trial because of her political and social standing. On January 25, 1611, King Matthias II ordered the capture and confinement of Bathory in Castle Segesta in Hungary. She was detained in the castle until the age of 54. One night, she complained to a guard that she felt coldness in her hands, but the guard did not entertain that complaint and just told her to lie down and rest. She did not wake up from that sleep. Bathory died a lonely death, alone in a dark room in that castle where she was confined. She was buried in the Church of Segeste on November 25, 1614, but due to the villagers not wanting her to be near them, it was decided that the Countess was to be moved to her birth home at Exed, in the Bathory family crypt. Up to this day, the location of her body was still unknown. But I have a question in mind right now. Is Bathory really a criminal? This was a woman with 5 children, a wife who took care of her husband's businesses and take care of the people and the state. But then, she was accused to kill 650 virgins. Was she a vampire who would devour in blood of her victims, drinking their blood and even bathing with it? Or was she a mere casualty, a victim of the men trying to eliminate her as she was independent and an empowered woman who stands for what she knows is right. Unfortunately, we can only see Elizabeth Bathory's life in two. First, that she was a woman with high intelligence, as she was able to deal with her husband's business affairs and even rule the state. She is strong, she is brave for her children, and she stands for her people, never bowing down with men of high rank, an empowered woman of her time. Second, she had traumatic influences from her own family, with her parents, aunts, and uncles who shown her sadistic and satanic ways towards their servants and people from the lower class, and also with the brutal ways of her husband, which makes her what she became in life: notorious, vampiric, and bloodthirsty. In my own opinion, Elizabeth Bathory was both a victim and a victimizer. A victim as she was caught in a political warfare between men and women of her time. She was being eliminated as she was an empowered woman, and that she is a criminal who killed 650 virgins and had devoured in their blood to maintain her youth and beauty. I can say it was a great selfish act. Whatever we can read or hear about her life nowadays is not important. What is recognizable is that Elizabeth Bathory is in our history and would not be forgotten. She made her mark in this world and left us with questions that will not be able to find answers.